electric one called? Jolteon?
Jolteon. Yeah. I have...
So, 300 CP less, and I'm super effective against the water, and I still couldn't beat it. I tried like 6 times.
I have the electric one, and I have the water one. I don't have the fire one yet.
The water one's my bane right now.
Well, you see a lot of those in there. I'm still going to find a Snorlax.
I've yet to catch one in the wild, any of those. I don't get many.
I caught a Jolteon in the wild, and then I leveled the Vaporeon. I named it Rainer. So, I got the...
Yeah, I named mine.
That's a
Barky.
Parker wanted.
Parker.
Yeah.
It's like how he starts getting chubby.
I won't do that. That doesn't mean other people won't.
This fucking Zubat. I got 2 great throws on it already. It's only 240, dog. Piece of shit. Brian, don't do it. It's not worth it. This motherfucker. He got out again. It ran away.
Let's see if Brian gets it.
Hey, I noticed it does give you the bonus if he runs away right after a great throw, but I got nothing, and I threw 2 great throws on it.
Brian got it.
Fuck you, Brian.
304 too.
Fuck you and the dick you wrote in on.
The hard dick you wrote in on. Yeah. Hello, and welcome to another episode of 9 to 5 Nerds with Robert Swathwood, Corey Urkel.
Hey there.
And today is Brian Pastifume.
Hi.
Today is Monday, July 25th.
Yes.
No.
And it is the day after San Diego Comic-Con, which all of us went to all days except for Sunday. Brian didn't go.
Couldn't make it.
Couldn't make it.
There were 2 Laprases at this gym.
At the one across the street?
Yeah, 2 Laprases and a Flareon.
Nobody was there earlier.
We're gonna fuck that gym up.
Okay, after the Comic-Con, post-Comic-Con episode we're on right now, we're going to go take over the gym across the street for Team Mystic.
Best thing about Comic-Con? Pokemon.
It was like half of
before we get too crazy in onto some of the things we saw at Comic-Con, if you've ever been to downtown San Diego, it's just like any other downtown, but every corner on every block almost had a Pokestop.
Not even that, but every single one had a lure. So when you look at the map, it's so shiny and sparkly everywhere.
Yeah, there were lures everywhere all the time, just constantly, everywhere.
And you ran out of Pokeballs, even with all those stops, because Pokemon just everywhere. And everybody's playing it. So you see, people walking down. It's just
yeah. Nobody had a gym for very long. All the gyms were getting blown up all over the place.
Yeah, not even a thing.
Even on Tuesday, we tried to take over a couple, and they just kept switching out over and over.
But I mean, we caught all kinds of stuff. We caught Golducks, and Parker caught an Alakazam.
Yeah,
is that right, Alakazam?
Yes.
And we caught all kinds of stuff.
We caught the Poliwrath.
We caught a Poliwrath.
Yeah, I think like the Porygon, if that's what it's called. I think so. Was like the rarest one I caught so far. If do count the Golduck.
I haven't even seen anybody else catch one of those.
That's why I consider I've never seen anybody. So, yeah. What was rarest you got a Abracadabra?
Alakazam.
Yeah, it's him.
I've never. I haven't seen anybody else have one.
What's your rarest, Brian?
Rarest?
You think? What do you?
Probably the Aerodactyl. I'd have to go through it, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Tauros really doesn't pop up
creepy.
all the time like some of the Zubat or some of them.
Yeah.
Yesterday,
I've seen one Tauros.
Yesterday driving, I saw the shadow in my little what's nearby a Ninetales and a Nidoking, and I wasn't even close.
Oh.
We can't track them at this point, so it was kind of a crapshoot.
Yeah. Ugh.
I've only seen a Ninetales once.
I haven't seen one.
No, me neither.
No.
I think I have to upgrade to see one.
Oh, you have to evolve it.
Yeah, sorry. Upgrade, evolve, same thing in my book.
It's
completely
not the same thing.
Upgrade would be giving them more power.
Yeah, I guess.
And evolving them would be
changing exactly
sorry,
what it
my
is.
vernacular is. I'm so on
it's
video game vernacular that it's hard to switch to Pokemon.
Well, let's go to Comic-Con.
We just went.
Let's talk about Comic-Con.
Let's discuss Comic-Con.
Well, first thing I want to say that the RFID chips worked really well. The entire times I went in and out, which was a lot. I would go in and out a lot. I saw.
Does that make you happy?
I saw 2 people turn red, and that was it.
Oh. I saw some coming in, but it didn't. I don't know. It just when they saw them turn red. So when you beep, it goes red or green. So if you're green, you go, and you're red, you don't. And they just pulled a couple people aside and had them re-out and then come back in, and that was it.
Oh, I saw a couple people get sent to the help desk, But it noticeably made a difference on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I thought there was a lot more places to walk around where you weren't shoulder to shoulder, butts to nuts. There seemed a lot more open space.
That could also be that downtown has much more to do.
Yeah, but that's been for years. There's been much more to do.
It's only growing. It's not getting smaller out there. So
yeah, but it can just show that maybe there was 5% of people. There were 5% less people because somebody didn't print up fake passes.
Yeah.
Because
true.
now you can't have a printed fake pass because you have to have the chip in there as well.
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday seemed just as busy to me as all previous years. It was crazy Saturday and Sunday, but I really liked Thursday and Friday. And Friday was the first time Friday's the longest Comic-Con day I've ever had.
Oh, that was
fun. I woke up at 2:30 in the morning and got in line for the everything line at 3 o'clock, and I didn't get back to my hotel room till 11:15 that night. I mean, I had stopped there, but I mean, for the night, I didn't get back. So I went in anything line. I got a Hasbro ticket. I tried to get a Funko ticket. Didn't get a Funko ticket. Went back on the floor. Got a Robert Kirkman signing ticket. Walked the floor. Went to get lunch. Walked the floor. Stopped at the hotel every once in a while. Then I went to the Funko party. It was a long ass day.
Sounds great.
Was it worth it?
Yeah. I got the stuff I wanted from Hasbro. Katrina got an Outcast artist proof and an Outcast hardcover signed by Kirkman, and I got the Lucille bat from this year and the compendium from this year signed. And he remembered both the wife and I. You know, he was very, very nice. He's always pretty nice. He said it was good to see us, and it had been a long time since he had seen Katrina. And it's nice because some people, I'm sure, say that, but he genuinely remembered us, so that was kind of cool. And yeah, he's just always nice.
How could you forget the tattoo? He's seen your movie. You're more famous than he is.
Yeah, I'm more famous than he is.
Well, the arm is.
He had a pretty good line, and I think they made his signing at 6 o'clock because when they make it early in the day, and he only had one signing this year, which is a first. He usually has all kinds. But I think when they make his signings, earlier in the day, he'll sign until they make him leave for a panel or for whatever, for other
obligations.
Other obligations. He'll sign everything. Wristband, no wristband, signing ticket, no signing ticket, as many things as you want. This time around, they did it later in the day, and they only let you have 3 things signed. But he didn't care. If somebody brought more, he just signed it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool. You know, I saw Clark Gregg. Friday was awesome. Thursday was nothing. Nothing happened. I didn't get anything from any of the booths that I wanted. I didn't see anybody, but Friday I saw Clark Gregg, who's Agent Coulson, and I saw the girl that plays Mulan. I can't remember her name. She's in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I can't remember her name right now off the top of my head.
Plays Mulan in Once Upon a Time, or
No,
the voice?
The voice of Mulan.
Okay.
But we saw Brian saw him too. Corey and I saw the Suicide Squad cast.
Mm-hmm.
Brian says he fist bumped him, but there's no pictures that prove that.
I did. Yeah, I got some high fives from Will Smith and Jai Courtney.
I don't know
I
who
got a
that
fist
is.
bump from Jared Leto. That was a lot of fun. They were really cool.
I saw John Bernthal on Friday. I saw Brian Fuller on Friday.
That's Punisher, right?
Yeah. Brian Fuller is the showrunner for Hannibal and the showrunner for American Gods. Who else did I see?
Q.
I saw Q. Saturday.
We all saw Q.
Well, I saw Q on the floor.
He talked to him.
And I talked to him for a second. And then on Saturday, all of us went out and we watched the Impractical Jokers new episode at Petco Park. And Q, Sal, Joe, and Murr were all there. That was really cool. The episode was fucking hilarious.
And we were right by 3 lures, too. That was awesome.
Yeah. You seen Game of Thrones cast?
Oh, yeah. We saw Hodor and Bran and Varys with hair, which was weird. I didn't even know who it was until Corey's like, "Is that Varys?" And I was like, "Oh my god!"
I watched a podcast and
who's Varys?
Varys is the bald guy.
The guy that you want to play the guy in Beetlejuice.
Yes, if they make a Beetlejuice remake, he needs to play Ortho.
Side note that I watched the podcast on the internet, and I remember I told you it was moderated by the guy from Always Sunny, Mac.
Yeah.
I don't remember his real name. Jeez, something McGellendery. I forgot. I was going to think of why he would have been the moderator. I forgot. Last season or season before, the producers for Game of Thrones directed an episode. They get different directors.
Gotcha.
And I must be tight or something because I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that.
It's weird sometimes. Like you wonder why different people host different panels and stuff. It seems the
they're all
connection seems
hosted
loose
by
sometimes.
what's his name?
Chris Hardwick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did the Pokemon Go one. I heard.
Did he?
Yeah.
Weird. He's a natural talk show host now. I mean,
Yeah,
it works.
he's all over the place, but
Yeah.
Do you like that show?
What?
Up at Midnight?
I've seen it twice.
I've
It
never
was alright.
watched it.
No. Lacey loves that show.
Every time I watch it, it was okay.
I
turn on TV
can't
much.
get into it.
I really like Chris Hardwick as like a talk show host and stuff. I don't like his comedy at all. I don't think
He's the host on this. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
That's fine. My only objection with Chris Hardwick is he plays the nerd card like nerds can't like anything but what nerds like. Like nerds can't like
I
sports.
remember you saying that. What did you see? A tweet of his or something?
No, I was listening to his stand up one time and he was talking about jocks and different things. And I wasn't a jock in high school. I was.
Just because he
a
tells
geek.
us a comedy story, that means
And
how
he
feels.
said something. Well, I mean, your comedy represents you. Obviously nowadays more than ever because not Dane Cook. Dane Cook's a piece of shit, but
Daniel
Like,
Tosh?
when-
Daniel Tosh had to apologize for a rape joke. As comedians, you're supposed to be able to say whatever you
It's
want.
kind of, I don't know the severity of the rape joke. You probably shouldn't have to apologize for it, but you can't be the guy who, who's the Affleck guy who got fired for.
Gilbert Gottfried.
He made a joke about Japanese people, like if a Japanese guy doesn't respond to you, just wait a few minutes, another one comes floating downstream.
I know that's terrible. That is
It's like there's a timing to it. I don't know if the rape joke
agree.
had to do with anything rapey that happened.
As
Rapey.
Like if it was right after somebody came out about Bill Cosby, I have no idea.
well, as bad as it is, I mean, some of these topics are pretty heavy. George Carlin always said that you should be able to joke about anything all the time, and if you don't like that person's comedian, don't listen to him. I like Chris Hardwick as a host. I think he's really clever, but as a comedian, I've listened to one whole album. I guess they're considered albums.
Yeah.
And I really didn't find him that funny. And that's not going to make me stop watching his show or dislike him. I like Chris Hardwick a lot. His comedy's not my thing.
I haven't heard any stand-up from him, so withhold judgment. But I hear you say that a lot, so I don't know. I
Whereas
don't know why.
Will Wheaton's the exact opposite. Will Wheaton is a nerd who fucking loves sports and he'll tweet about sports.
He tweets about everything.
Yeah.
He was one of the 4 people I followed when I was on Twitter, and it was nonstop. It's too much.
Who are the other 3?
It was like it was on people
Weird
who made
Al.
online.
Me.
No, I don't think it's Weird Al. I think it's like Felicia Day, him, and Totally Rad Show guys, and that might have Robert. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm that important.
and that's all I can
Apparently.
remember.
Did any of you...
So this is back when I was watching The Guild. That was on, and
Neither one of you know who John Barrowman is. I mean, you know of him, but you don't know him for anything, right?
do I know him?
Well, he's Malcolm Merlin on Arrow. He was on Torchwood.
Then no, I don't know.
But he's a big guy in the nerd circles.
Okay.
I mean, he's very, very well liked. Very, very cool guy. I've seen him on Talking Dead, connecting to Chris Hardwick, and he's very funny.
Yeah.
And but he was wearing a Star Wars dress and heels with a Vader mask. He's gay, not that it matters, but and he said if you found him in that outfit, he would take a selfie with you anywhere at the convention. So that's pretty cool. And he
Yeah,
was
cool.
Henry
Not as cool as what the Superman guy did.
Cavill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His Snapchat or
I
his
love
Vine or
the
whatever.
the video of him, Will Smith just thinking he's a regular fan,
Yeah,
and then
it's
seeing
so
who
funny.
it was.
I haven't seen it yet. I'll have to find it.
You haven't seen it?
No.
You ever see a Snapchat?
So he shakes Will Smith's hand.
I don't have a Snapchat.
No, but I mean, I see
But
on
it's
the
everywhere.
internet.
No, I know I haven't seen
Apparently,
it.
the article I read said he does funny Snapchats all the time.
He was wearing a Guy Fawkes mask. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's walking around and stuff, and he gets to go through the Suicide Squad
He
line.
made a little montage of it. What's the song from Top Gun? Danger Zone?
Yeah.
It was playing that. Danger Zone. He's walking around taking pictures with fans. They don't know it's him. And then he gets to meet Will Smith and takes off his mask when they're posing. And then he goes to shake it at Will Smith.
And then he sees.
Oh,
it.
hey!
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'll find
Yeah.
it. I'll find it.
Um,
Going
Not-
back to the rapey thing really fast. So
Oh,
I was
shit.
driving up to Irvine yesterday with Daniel, and we listened to Jim Jeffries,
Uh-huh.
and he did this 10-minute half apology on rape jokes because he's talking about Bill Cosby.
Uh-huh.
He's like, look, this is not my opinion. I'm not going to try to do his Australian accent,
Yeah.
but he's saying this is not my opinion. My real opinion is this guy is he's a complete asshole.
he's
He
a
needs to
piece
go.
of
He
shit.
needs to go. He needs to go to prison.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between what I think and then what I think is funny to say.
Uh-huh.
So it was an interesting
Yeah.
scope
Yeah,
on
I
that.
mean, I don't think rape's funny at all. It's one of
not.
the worst. I mean, it's horrible. And the fact that this piece of shit, and now we're getting political, but this piece of shit, and was it Washington? Or was it California? It was in California. The fucking swimmer kid that got 6 months for...
Stanford, yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking terrible. And that it's just horrible. But
I don't know the situation for that.
really? The kid only got
The
sentenced...
Stanford rapist?
Yeah. He's a swimmer, and he got caught raping this chick behind a dumpster while she was passed out.
Oh, I'm not here.
Yeah,
Got
and
arrested.
he got sentenced for 6 months.
I thought he had just got arrested when I read that. Was he
No.
just being
No,
sentenced?
this is in
Yeah.
December.
Oh,
It's horrible. But George Carlin says, he said, just think of Daffy Duck raping Porky Pig. And that was his way of saying, you know, anything can be funny. And
Now I just think of the South Park episode where Steven Spielberg and George Lucas were raping Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Have you seen that shit?
no.
Dude, it's kind of disturbing, but it's funny.
because the kids go to see Indiana Jones
Yeah.
4, and they come out like they were like, "Oh my God, what just happened? We just seen." They literally use the word Indiana Jones just got raped in front of our eyes, like because they sold out. They just made a shitty movie from it, and they keep using that analogy so much. And then, like, one of them has a dream where they actually see just Indiana Jones being raped by George Lucas
It's pretty
Spielberg.
bad, dude.
And like, yeah, you're gonna make a fourth movie.
Oh, man, that's
yeah,
bad.
squeal like a pig.
Our,
Basically.
And Harrison Ford's like, no, don't take my pants off. It's pretty
It's so fucked up.
Our Comic-Con podcast just got sideswiped by a rape conversation.
I do believe the philosophy that a South Park guy said it. You can make fun of. You should be able to make fun of everything or nothing. So
Yes, yeah, and I agree with that. And nobody here is. We're all against rape. Nobody's for rape.
Yeah.
Who is for it? No, that just doesn't make sense. But you should be able to make fun of everything. And if it bothers you or you don't think it's funny, just turn it off. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of things. I've seen things that have bothered me, and I don't go. I turn it off.
start a crusade against it.
To get super super serious, and Corey's made fun of me, but I was watching Breaking Bad, and I stopped watching for like a year because there was the episode with the little redheaded kid who was in the meth house, and the guy's parents were on meth, and that happened to me when I was a child, and I stopped watching it. I was like, this is fucked up. I can't watch this.
We can't make fun of meth heads now.
You can make fun of whoever you want.
Oh,
That's what
God.
I'm saying. I turned it off. It doesn't matter.
Meth jokes aren't funny to you.
Have you ever turned anything off like that, Corey? Have you ever gotten off something because it disturbed you?
No. I mean, unless it's like cabin fever and it just winced and like, oh God, turn it off.
So you abstinence for 5 years because of that movie?
Yeah,
Not
right.
by choice.
I never want to go to a cabin by the lake. Fuck that shit.
But that's just in my regular life too. We were at work one time, or we weren't. We were working. He wasn't with me, and I was driving, and I saw two young, fucking just tweaked out meth heads pushing like a 2-year-old in the stroller. I'm like, it hurts every time I see stuff like that. I hate it.
Well, we saw downtown. We saw the girl with the baby.
Yeah.
Just sitting on the side of the street. She was half asleep or
She was
drugged
out of it.
out.
Yeah.
And there's a baby sleeping, and it's just ugh.
Yeah.
It's not nice.
Comic-Con.
Yeah, San Diego.
I saw Agent Coulson. I saw
Who's that hot old lady you saw?
the Mulan lady.
Mm-mm.
What hot old lady? Oh, we saw Gina Davis, and she
Oh.
looks great for her age. We saw the cast of Exorcist, I guess.
Yeah.
I was thinking the whole time I was like, I haven't seen anybody famous in my hotel. I've seen people on the floor and stuff, but I saw the guy. You guys don't know him. He's on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He plays Mac, who I really like. And then I saw, and I didn't even notice him as a celebrity. I was like, who's this stupid guy wearing their stupid fucking hat? It was like, the beanie hats that have the bills on them.
I have one of those.
Let me keep going. It's a beanie hat with like a bill, but the beanie part of it was like 2.5 feet long.
Nice.
And I'm like, this is the stupidest hat I've ever seen. And it was Claudio, lead singer from Coheed and Cambria.
Oh, your buddy.
Yeah, no, not my buddy.
You like this band?
That's your
I do.
day.
I do, but I haven't listened to their last 2 albums. 'cause
Anthony
they
was
weren't very
flipped out,
good.
right? Did he
No,
like them?
I don't. I think their music has gone downhill. I haven't liked them in a little while. I still listen to their older stuff.
Good eye.
Yeah, that one. But I saw a lot of cool stuff on the floor. I got a ton of stuff from the Skybound booth. I got some not Nerf guns, but like foam dart guns.
Those are the coolest foam gun. Nerf
When
guns.
after you're done shooting the shotgun and you go to reload it, it shoots the
It ejects the
shells
shells,
out, which is
yeah.
cool.
That is kind of nice.
Brian and I both got the newest compendium.
Grat.
I bought a $300 Chewbacca Nixon watch.
It's a good purchase.
I still don't know if I'm going to keep it. Anthony wants it pretty bad.
Are you going to give it to him for what you paid
Yeah,
for
yeah, and they're also selling for about $450 now since they're sold out.
it? Yeah.
I'll make that cheddar.
They only made 300 of them. What else did I buy? I bought a lot of stuff this year.
You've got a 30-year wedding anniversary coming up. You better.
30 year?
Yeah.
30 year.
30
Wow.
years.
You got married too?
Got married a long time ago. Anyway.
I am 32.
Who'd you see, Brian?
What's up?
Who'd you see?
Besides the Suicide Squad cast.
That might be it. I don't really think I really
Saw anybody
saw
this year?
anyone this year.
You didn't walk by any signings? Like, they were all over the place.
We saw. Lacey saw
No, I
the
think-
Fantastic Beast cast.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, did you?
She saw
Oh, did she?
them.
Was
We
Colin
saw.
Farrell
I
there?
know I walked
Colin
by-
Farrell. Colin?
I
Yeah,
don't
Colin
know.
Farrell.
I don't know. I left. She fluttered along, and I kept going.
I walked
I was
by.
holding merchandise. I didn't want to get crowded.
Oh, Corey and I
Wolf.
saw Alan Tudyk and Nathan Fillion
Oh, yeah.
at Con X. We
Very
got to-
private kind of affair, too.
Yeah, we went to a panel at Con X, and it was only like 200 people there. It was awesome.
It was in a park behind Seaport, way off the... Not
Sweet tots.
That was a running joke.
Yeah.
But there's like 100 people sitting down on a slope and we were...
And one of those
Pretty
100
close.
people in front of us was a very, very large man dressed as Princess Leia, and the breeze kept blowing his butt flap,
Nice.
and it was...
hairy, fat, ugly Leia.
But as far, you
It
know,
was
as with comedy, anybody should be able to dress up as anybody they want.
That was Jabba the Hutt in a slave Leia outfit.
Within reason, you shouldn't be able to dress up as Cersei's Walk of Shame.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's...
That was a
there's
good
things-
Is that
costume.
dressing down?
Yeah, that's dressing down.
No, I don't think. Oh no, I saw Gal Gadot. Is it Gal Gadot or Gadot?
I don't know.
You
I
see
think
her?
I think it's Gadot. I saw Gal Gadot and Chris Pine, and then as they were walking
Nice.
away from the Warner Brothers booth, that's when Suicide Squad came in.
Nice.
Oh, you got them when they came in?
I got them when they came in, and then as they came out.
Wow. Were you anticipating them while you standing there? Or
Yes, we waited in the hallway where they go,
Uh-huh.
and we just waited, and then that's where we were right in front.
Tight.
That's where I got my fist bumps and my high fives.
When
That's
when
sweet.
Clark Gregg went by, I'm like, "You're Clark Gregg, you're the best," and he's like, "Thanks, man." And then I saw Brian Fuller. Good thing that he wasn't next to me before, because like, "Oh, you're Brian Fuller, you're the best." He's like, "Thanks."
Who's that?
He's the showrunner for Hannibal.
Oh.
And
That's,
I almost went to take a picture with him because I had a picture with him last year.
When Wonder Woman was leaving the DC booth after their meet and greet, this woman walked in front of me and went into the women's restroom that Lacey was in. She was using the restroom, and all these security guards came, and I was like, "Who the fuck is this person?" And then eventually I found out that it was Patty Jenkins, who's the director of Wonder Woman. So security was basically telling people they couldn't go into the restroom, and if you were in the restroom, you needed to speed things up. Because
That's
the director
bullshit.
was inside. That's what I said. I told Lacey,
Yeah.
I would have
would've-
said, "Fuck that! I'm not if I have to use the restroom."
Yeah.
Now I can understand going in. Like I get that because there's more restrooms. But if you're in,
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
feel like you
yeah.
can't kick me
I'm
out.
not going to pinch it off.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
But I found out who that was. That was kind of cool.
I
She
don't
needs
know
all
who
the
that is.
stalls.
Which is funny because as a director, you're not as, unless you're Spielberg or somebody big,
Yeah.
you're not as famous as
Exactly.
the actors. Whereas I want to say a couple years back, Katrina was in the restroom and Rosario Dawson walked in, and she didn't have any security around her, and she's she's a well-known actress.
She's also a Bernie Sanders supporter. She's like a heavy one.
That makes her even better.
Yeah, I saw.
I don't even want to get into that bullshit that happened this week.
No, I don't pay attention to it.
It's infuriating. I mean, emails leaked that just showed that they were trying to sandbag Bernie Sanders the entire time. The whole Democratic chair. She's already stepped down. She's resigned from her position because she fucking got caught.
I don't know anything
It's
about this.
let's keep going because
Oh shit!
What
Patty Jenkins directed Monster.
I like that movie. That was the
That's
one.
a fantastic.
did she
movie.
win? She probably won an Academy Award for that. right?
There's a good.
Wait, which monster? What are you thinking? Am I thinking
She was-
monsters?
I'm thinking of the one with
It's-
Charlize
Yeah,
Theron,
Charlize
where
Theron.
she looked crazy.
She won Best
Okay.
Actress for that. That was
What am I
a fucked
thinking
up
of?
movie.
I've never seen it.
Oh, I read something. They had the highs and lows, and I want to talk about the Justice League trailer. Have you watched it yet, Corey?
I watched it
Yes.
again today.
I did.
Okay, but so apparently a small group of press and a small group of attendees got invited to see this movie called The Woods,
Okay.
and I guess it was really private. Really, have you even heard about this movie?
No,
And this isn't targeted towards me because you'll know in a second.
I can give a shit.
So they said it was one of the highs, and they get in there, and all the people sit down, and they're ready to watch it, and they're like, "This is Blair Witch," and I guess it's a
Oh,
direct
yeah.
sequel from the original, not like
Book of Shadows.
not Book of Shadows
something.
or anything. But it was supposed to be really, really well received from the people who got to see it.
Was it
And
a
it's-
screening or the trailer?
I thought it was a screening,
Oh, yeah.
but it might have been a trailer.
The trailer's on. You can see it now.
But
I think it was because the trailer you can tell it's Blair Witch in the beginning.
is it found footage type stuff?
It is, but they literally say the Blair Witch like early on, so you kind of know. What
This
it
was
is.
a surprise going
Yeah.
in, so I think stuff like that is really cool when you don't even know what's going on.
It's a direct sequel.
Yeah.
That's what they said.
Yeah,
If
the
the OG
guy is
cast
looking
was
for
there.
his sister, who was one of the girls in the first film.
There's only one girl in the first one, right?
I don't remember. I've seen it one time.
One
I've
girl,
never
2
seen
guys.
It's pretty good.
So that's why I'm like, eh. I mean, I've seen the climax of
it's
it.
like-
I'm not going to watch a bunch of people watching
She's been
the
gone for 20 years. Time to start my search.
Yeah, I think
Dumb
because
fuck.
of that, because you know the ending is. I mean, it's still worth watching.
Yeah,
You don't know the ending.
I watched
But
the
at the
girl
time-
standing in the corner or whatever, and
yeah.
her crying, and
But I mean, at the time there was no
She-
one doing
there was
a
nothing-
found footage
yeah.
one.
It
so
wasn't
it's
the
like-
girl in the corner. It was the guy.
it was the guy in the
She was
corner.
holding the camera.
Yeah, well, I've seen the last 10 minutes of the movie. I have no desire to just watch the rest of it. Because I'm assuming the first hour and 20 minutes is them just walking through the woods.
You've seen Paranormal Activity.
No, I haven't seen any of them.
It's
You
funny.
didn't- you didn't see those
'cause
either?
That's the closest thing I can say. It just builds up this sense of anxiety and dread when you watch it. And
Cool, let me get out and watch it so I can make my anxiety issues
the
worse.
ending. If you watch the last 5 minutes of the Blair Witch, it's like it would be fucking nothing because nothing.
Well, there's a little bit of
happens.
backstory that they talk about with the killer and the corner thing, and this,
Yeah.
you know,
So
it's
but if you just watch it because there's no monster at all.
Yeah.
In Paranormal Activity, there's more happening at the end, but it's the same thing. Like it's so slow, and the scares start so slight. You know, it's the creepiness. So
I never really had a desire to watch it. And that's when I really like
I like
horror
Paranormal
movies.
more than Blair, but I liked them both when they came out.
I like my horror movies cheesy with 80s and 90s monsters.
That's
you
not.
still won't watch Monster Squad.
That's
No.
oh, you got called out. Sick.
I love that
Sick
movie.
burn.
But
I
aren't
love that
those
movie.
Wolfman's got nards.
I was
man.
gonna say,
Yeah.
isn't that like like a spoof on like classic monsters?
I mean, they're all classic monsters.
Yeah, but I'm
it's
not-
I wouldn't say-
it's not spoofy.
I wouldn't say a spoof.
No.
I'll just say that my movies are Nightmare on Elm Street. I love Freddy Krueger.
Okay,
that's
that's
my
way
type
darker than this one. This
You
one,
like the rapist?
What?
That's what. That's
Oh
what
yeah, I
he
guess
did.
he was.
this one's 50-50 Goonies and horrors or monster movies.
Yeah.
And it's like 50s monster movies, like the classics. Not,
Frankenstein.
there's
Werewolf,
there's no
Lagoon.
horror, no startles in Monster Squad. I don't think the whole
Mhm.
movie. So it's not like Freddy.
No, it's not. Gary and I, my brother, got we got screening tickets to go see, what's it called? Don't Breathe. It has the girl from the Evil Dead remake, Jane Levy. She was in Suburgatory for a while, and they go into a guy's house to steal
You told
something.
me about this. It
Yeah.
actually sounds kind of good.
And he's blind, and so he breaks out and he's like, "What's everyone doing here?" It's the guy that played the bad guy from Avatar, and
Scott Lang?
yeah, that guy.
No, Scott Lang is Ant-Man.
Stephen Lang.
Stephen Lang.
Stephen
Thank
Lang.
you.
So anyway, it basically turns into him hunting them, and it looked scary as shit. And I wanted to go, and we couldn't because we had to take someone home.
So they're locked in a house with a guy hunting them.
Pretty much, yeah.
Is it people under the stairs?
I like that movie.
Love that movie.
The guy doesn't have a tongue.
You ever seen that
Nobody
movie?
has that much room between their walls.
I thought there was when I was a kid because of that movie. It's incestuous people.
Did they call him Big Daddy? He was all dressed in leather at one point.
Yeah, a guy just like at one point. There's these people on the block who own half the neighborhood in like this black neighborhood, folks, and they have an adopted daughter. But some black people try, including Ving Rhames and the little black kid from Mighty Ducks, break into their house trying
Keenan
to
Thompson,
No.
or the guy that played the
No.
pitcher in Sandlot.
cook
The guy that
Cake
put the
Eater.
picture in.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking
And they want to break into his house because they're going to foreclose on something, and they're like, we got to steal from these motherfuckers. And they break in, the people are gone, but the house is fucking locked down, and people come back, they try hiding. They got a pit bull dog that's crazy, and turns out they're psychos, and they're incestuous. They've adopted 1 million kids, and if they sin once, they lock them in the basement. So, like, 50 teenagers in the basement, pale, like, they've never seen sunlight. They feed them human flesh, and that's what I call people
I
under
don't
stairs.
remember the human flesh part.
They fed them Ving Rhames
Yeah, I don't remember
at one
that.
point in
about. That's what
time.
it's called, is people
Yeah.
under the stairs.
Yeah, so mostly it's just a little black kid running throughout the house, but one of those teenagers got in the walls. He escaped from... So,
He's been in other things too.
Yeah, he's- I'm trying to think of what he was in, but he's
have you
a
ever
face.
seen That Thing You Do?
No,
Really?
no.
Oh, well, he was in that.
But he saves the black kid from being killed. And he takes him in the walls.
He doesn't have a tongue.
He had a tongue cut off, so he's making noises. And the dad's like, "It's that damn kid in the walls again." And they show like the scenes like the walls They look like they have that
Like
four,
the Matrix.
like
when
4
they're going down the
exactly.
wall.
There's like 4 feet of space, but there's tunnels everywhere, and the guy lets a dog in, and he's trying to shoot through the wall with a shotgun. House is soundproof, and it just goes from there, and it's fucked up
Sounds like a fun
and
movie.
slightly funny, like dark humored.
Uh-huh.
Love that movie.
I liked it as
It's
as
horrible.
a younger person. I'm assuming it came out when I was pretty young.
Gonna get you, fool.
Man, we fucking
Deterred.
from our post Comic Con.
What are we up to? I didn't buy anything, so celebrities.
Oh,
Who-
fun stuff.
Who did I meet? Dave Franco. Who did I see? Dave Franco, Matt Groening,
I saw
Raining.
Graining.
Will Arnett.
I saw one of the guys from Arrow just walking the floor, and we literally locked eyes. Like, I'm like, is this motherfucker the guy from Arrow? And I'm like, and we walked by each other looking at each other. And I
He's
was
probably thinking, is that the guy from
the Walking Dead documentary. And I looked at Katrina, and I was like, is that? And she's like, yeah, it was him. And I was like, because he plays this really kind of eccentric, really, really smart guy that's kind of quirky, and I didn't expect him to be as gigantic as he was. He looked like he was like 6'4". I'm like, this is a big dude.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of caught me off guard. I'm like, that can't be him. And it was him.
Who did we see that said? Somebody said, oh, it was one of the voices, Rick and Morty voice
Yeah.
actor.
That's who I saw. I saw Jason Mewes on Thursday.
Did you?
Yeah, right outside of the Hilton. He was just sitting there, and then my brother and I weren't sure if it was him, and then we saw him on Twitter later with the same. So he looked exactly the same. I was, see, I fucking told you it was Jason Mewes.
Like the time we seen Ron Jeremy just sitting on a
Yeah.
bench.
In Crocs and sweatpants. It was gross.
Is that fucking Ron Jeremy?
So there was a guy by the Skybound booth, the backside of Skybound booth, which I guess the Image booth, who was just dressed as Silent Bob, who I saw there nonstop for like
over and
2
over.
days.
Yeah, that was his perch.
Yeah, I don't think he moved. And people just come up to him and took a picture with him, like, all the time.
Yeah, I've seen him a couple days.
That's
I've
commitment.
seen him the last 2 years, at least.
Yeah, I've seen him before, but I've
Yeah.
never seen him standing in the same spot the entire time.
He stands around. He mopes.
Makes
If
sense.
there's a quick stop stand, he would be there.
Somebody should do that cosplay, but have something that sticks out that's above you that says Quick Stop.
Yeah, like a little sign. He should have just taped a sign on the pillar behind him.
Did you see what Adam Savage's cosplay was?
No.
Because he always does like
I
a
know.
big thing.
Yeah.
He was the bear from The Revenant, and he had DiCaprio's dead body with him.
How do you get through the con?
It was a huge bear, too. It looked gigantic. It was a big fucking grizzly bear.
That's awesome. He dresses up. All the costumes are fucking immaculate.
Yeah.
He spends a whole year doing it, I guess. It's his Halloween.
I didn't see any really outstanding cosplays.
I didn't this year either.
I remember there was.
There's some big
There was
people.
I think there was a. Was it a War Machine or a Deadpool a couple years ago that really blew me away? But
Apocalypse last year.
yeah, that was really good.
And I saw Thanos at one point that was really good.
You like that Silver Surfer dude?
Oh yeah, we saw Silver Surfer, and there was no part of his paint that was rubbed off like at all.
Good.
Yeah,
And he taped his ears back and everything. He looked pretty good.
It was on point.
And he was pretty. It was on point. Yeah, I said on point about 30 times in a row.
It was on fleek.
That's what I said.
What? I don't think there was any other. I saw a lot of cool stuff. I saw some cool Mario statues that I really liked. That I posted.
Are those
on
the tiny
Facebook.
ones?
Yeah, they were cool.
That's where I bought my mini Joker from.
They were cool.
I have their website.
Harley
They have good
Quinn's-
stuff.
Yeah,
Every other cosplay is Harley Quinn.
and the new one too.
Yeah. So now it's like added. And not a bad thing, but it's like the easiest go-to.
Yeah.
Ponytails.
I saw an original Harley Quinn costume
There's
with
some
a
hot
girl,
ones.
and she had a sign that says "Forget Joker, I love Deadpool,"
I like that.
and there was like blood on the sign.
Like the animated series one?
Yeah.
I saw a few of those. Do either of you know of a store called Box Lunch?
Nah.
I know about it. Yeah.
Dude, I went into one yesterday in Irvine, and I want to find one of those stores closer because there was a lot of cool shit in there.
They have a lot of neat stuff, and they donate money for everything that they sell.
It was really cool. It was like I mean, Hot Topic isn't goth anymore, but it was like a less goth Hot Topic. It was a lot more nerd centered as opposed to like.
Because I was somebody on the badge holders thing on Facebook somebody was asking about pop figures, and they were like, "Oh, go to boxlunch.com." I've never seen an actual store, but I've been to their website.
Did you Google it afterwards?
No, I didn't. The reception up there wasn't any good, and we were running a little late. But I want to find one of those stores. There was a lot of that looked like fun to go explore. I was getting hassled by Daniel to hurry up though, so we had to leave. The bum. You didn't buy anything, Corey?
Yeah, a little bit. Not like my total was less than 100 probably. So about a hat.
I spent $700 on myself,
Yeah,
which is the most I've ever spent on myself.
Well, almost half of that was the watch.
The watch, yeah.
about a coaster, a pin, like $40 worth of comics, a couple magic cards.
A coaster?
Yeah, it was a cool coaster. Somebody like one of the handmade table. Oh, and some art prints, and that was about it.
This preview night was the latest I've ever gotten.
And a shirt.
Nice.
Oh, the Star Fox shirt?
Yeah.
This preview night was the latest I had ever been down there, and this was the earliest I think Corey's ever been down there. But we got in line right away, and we have professional badges because we're so cool.
Yeah, pros.
We're pros, and there's a line in the back for pros, and you get in. It's a couple minutes early, but the fact that the line's so much shorter, you get in a lot faster.
Yeah, and it helped because that Marvel line on
Took forever.
preview night was fucking stupid.
Yeah. That we got in line at the Marvel booth because my wife buys one thing and she buys the Scotty Young pins at the Marvel booth. But they didn't know how to run their own booth, and everybody wanted to look at shirts and try on shirts.
They had no signage as what was on sale except right in front, right when you got to the register.
Well, here's what pisses me off: is every other day they had those sheets that you could see what they had, and they wouldn't sell us the. Every year they have, if you spend $50, you can buy this pin. If you spend $100, every other day they had that except for the day we went.
Preview night, yeah, that's bullshit.
Which sucks because we spent over $100 at that booth.
Yeah, you spent like $300.
Well, Katrina spent $115. I spent $200 and something.
Yeah.
But you guys, this is a Comic-Con episode. You can call me a dick if you want to. I spent $108 on those pins, and I turned around and sold it for $300.
You're a dick.
Yeah, that's fine.
You're a big dick.
That's fine. You are what you eat. Wait, what?
You're a big fat winking willy.
But yeah, I had a good year. It started out slow. The Funko party, I'd like to just go over just for a minute because I had to go by myself, which sucked. If it was all five, like if Brian and Lacey and Corey and Katrina and I all got to go, I think we would have had a blast because they did spoofs on Pee Wee Herman and Thriller and Ace Ventura and Ron Burgundy, and the way they gave stuff away was so much better this year. Nobody got hurt. You didn't even the head of the company even said you don't even have to get out of your seats. And you didn't. I really didn't get out of my seats because I didn't trust any of the people with me not to steal my shit because they saw what was in my box.
Yeah.
And the Kylo Ren one was the one everybody wanted, and I got one. So, but it was really fun. I mean, food was shit, but I'm hoping that we can get more tickets to go next year because it was a lot of fun.
It's so hard to get them.
It is. Some people had groups of like 10, 15, 20 people they were there with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you fuckers. So next year, we're just going to have like 20 people try to get tickets.
What would you change for next year? Like lessons learned or things you would...
Don't
Would you wake up
go
and try to
to
get in line?
dinner.
Would you go to Hasbro? Because
I'd go to Funko instead of Hasbro.
Okay.
Don't go to
But
dinner
I'd still get in line.
downtown hungry because it'll take you a long time to get your food.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
yeah.
takes a long time. We waited in line for a long time. Not as long as some people. We didn't camp out or anything. But I went straight to Hasbro and I got my ticket, and then I went to go get in line at Funko. The thing is Funko, this was the first time they did the sales pavilion. And usually, with Hasbro, you go up and you walk through and you get a ticket until tickets are gone. With Funko, it's a lottery where you get to draw a wristband. If you get a wristband, you get to go to the booth. And I guess the booth still takes over 2 hours to get through. I guess one guy grabbed 6
Wristbands?
was tackled by security, threw him off of him, ran. He got away with 6 wristbands.
Wow.
I want to go to Comic-Con with that guy.
Yeah. But...
He must have really wanted Funko figures.
Yeah, I waited in the anything line. I got my Hasbro ticket, and then they make you get out to go get in the Funko line. Like, even if I wanted to go to Funko line without going to Hasbro, they made you leave where you had already got and get in line behind the convention center. So you wouldn't even have had to wait in the anything line. You could just been at the right place at the right time and got straight in the line for Funko.
Yeah.
Funko needs to get that situated and have it like Hasbro.
Yeah.
Because that's not fair.
When do you think Funko is eventually going to top out or start to go down at any point?
I think they're going to go the way of Beanie Babies eventually.
How long have they been doing? 5 years? 4 years?
Funko's been around for like 15 years.
Well, like these
Big
the
like
pop
this?
figures. Like once they took over the Mezco ones, the Mezits.
This is the 3rd year that you haven't been able to get to the booth. 4 years ago, you could walk in and it was busy, but you could get something whenever you wanted.
Okay.
Now the line is impossible.
It seems like the most popular toys on the planet. Collectibles, whatnot.
Which is funny because The most basic.
I own 0.
I own less. I own probably 10 to 20.
I'm in that range. I bought 4 this year.
I bought 2 at Hot Topic yesterday when I was texting you. I went to Hot Topic before I went to get dinner because they get exclusives, and I bought Luke Skywalker with his hand cut off, and I bought a Malcolm Merlin, and they had Jack in his pajamas and some other ones.
I can see why people want them. For me, they don't look cool enough for me to put on my shelf because they look like little kid dolls, more or less.
Yeah.
They're simplified on purpose.
Yeah.
I have some statues, not anything crazy, not like you guys, but they at least have to look kind of cool and like.
I understand. I've gone the way of I don't buy pop figures typically. Like I said, 10 to 20 is not much. When I go to buy stuff at Comic-Con now, it's higher end stuff. Like I bought a fucking $300 watch, but I will buy artwork or statues because I'm not going to put action figures up anymore. I don't have the space for it, so it has to be extra cool to go up on my.
Yeah.
I bought a Nuka-Cola clock. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. Which
I
is
forgot
cool 'cause
about.
they sold out of them.
I forgot about those that Nuka-Cola bottle opener I sent you.
forgot too.
I forgot. I didn't even get there on time. So that was a bummer. Speaking of the line you waited in, because Lacey and I, we met up with you.
Lines.
And we were heroes for ringing the donuts. So I want that on record, on tape. Don't delete this.
Okay.
I'll know.
You don't listen to these.
Yeah, they do.
Who does?
Everyone. All of Twitter. All the
Okay.
Twitter users. But we got a line to meet Gerard Way, which was Lacey's daughter's like obsession, and she.
Did you say anything to him?
Yeah, I just said, "Hey, man, nice to meet you. Thanks for coming out." I mean, Emma didn't say 2 words; she was too giddy. And then he took a picture of Ethan because he said that he looked like a kid that they're doing in a comic, so that was kind of cool. And Lacey's talking to him, and I just said, "Hi, thanks for coming out." But I did the Batman VR, and that shit was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was really fun, and I was looking everywhere, and there was a couple of parts where I felt that I was gonna fall over, like, 'cause it's so immersive. So it was pretty fucking tight. I still wouldn't buy one when it comes out for $400, but I'll keep my eye on it.
Was it on?
What's up?
Was it on PlayStation 1?
Yes. Yeah,
Oh, that's good.
It was the Arkham VR on. It's
I forget-
not called Morpheus anymore.
It's not.
No, I think it's just PlayStation VR.
Uh,
But it was cool. I'll keep an eye out for
so
it.
technology wise, pretty cool.
I mean, it didn't look as good as the games, the graphics. I mean, it still looked good,
They
but
can use like the same engine.
it does. But it wasn't like HD.
As soon as they have sexy games, then.
Sexy games.
I'm
I think
in.
they still have sexy games already.
But I want
Like
to
you
be
can
able
use
to
Oculus
visualize.
Rift
That would just be a sexy video.
in
if
sexy
anything.
games.
Yeah, but I want like a suit that will like massage my
You want a
my
haptic
balls.
suit?
Yeah, I want a haptic suit.
From the book.
Yeah, I want that.
Until the movie comes out.
Yeah.
Didn't they have that in like Minority Report or something? They had the 6.
I don't know, but you need to read that fucking book.
Which one?
I think Minority
Ready
Report had the
Player
same
One.
thing.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a lot of free time over the next week, and then for 2 weeks after that, I have a lot of free time. So
Ask
Corey if you could borrow
the book.
is it yours?
Yeah, it's at Robert's house. That's why he's
Did
asking.
you finish it?
Yeah.
No.
It's pretty good, and it's like 350 pages. It's a quick
Big
read.
text, big font.
I wrote it.
Pictures.
I read it in 3 days. So I mean,
I'm surprised you didn't want that Spider-Man Origins print.
I don't know. I bought the Alex Ross Spider-Man one, and I have a stack of artwork here, and you're gonna hear rustling. Do you see this? I have this that we got 2 years ago that we really liked.
So you don't have. You need to start.
haven't
Get,
got.
you
I
actually need to do
I have
something.
to actually get shit framed.
Yeah.
I have this. I have the Severus Snape that says always.
You've had that on your bed for 6 months.
Yep. I have this.
No longer than that. That was September.
I have.
Dude,
some
you've
other
had that on
stuff
your
in
bed
here.
for a year.
I have stuff from Brian from 4 years ago in here, an autographed Kasim Osgood thing.
Is
I
that
think
is
it is.
that mine?
That's not mine. I wouldn't get a Charger autograph. Sports are stupid. If you like
Oh.
comics, you can't like sports.
Yeah, I heard that.
Wish you didn't hear that.
Is this where I start talking about Chargers training camp?
No.
All right then. Sports.
No.
Oh, come on.
Um,
Hey, before you get into that, I was just going to ask, how frightened were you walking back through the ghetto at night?
I was not.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure Lacey was freaking out because she always does, and a lot of it has to do with one that her stepfather's a police officer, so he instills like the fear of death into her.
I have a huge fear of death, but I don't feel very uncomfortable in very many places.
after Saturday, after the block party,
You went to Barrio Logan?
We
Yeah,
walked
basically.
all the way back to basically meal party.
and there's no street lights, and it's pitch dark. There's homeless people wrestling everywhere, and kind of.
She had her kids with her too, right?
It was
Yeah.
it was the two girls.
Like, I'm fine. I do that. I mean,
Yeah.
every year. But
I can understand
I was getting a
where
lot
some
of
people
this
feel
place is ghetto. What are we doing here?
Who was saying that?
All the girls.
Yeah, I don't.
You were like 40 feet behind playing Pokemon.
I was playing Pokemon.
He gets somebody steals his wallet and he doesn't even notice.
We wouldn't have noticed.
I just walked and no, I didn't feel uncomfortable at all. Anytime we go on vacation, there's always some point.
I almost felt like I had to apologize. Like, I told you guys to get a ride. I didn't tell you to walk into death.
No, it's fine. I think there's a little bit of an over. She gets scared.
Yeah.
I don't think that a lot of people that come to Comic-Con here realize that it is, I mean, that's a dangerous area.
Yeah, you say LA has ghetto like around the corner, but literally if you go a few blocks, what is it, south from the convention center?
Yeah.
You do hit some pretty...
That's on one area, though. In LA, it's 1 to 2 blocks in every direction.
The convention we went to back a couple months ago, it was like literally the next block
I
over.
felt
every business was out.
I felt we'd go to McDonald's. It was pretty ghetto in there.
Yeah.
Well, not in there. It was around there, and some people in there.
But so I mean, if you go 6 blocks from the convention center here, one way towards downtown, towards sort of like Horton Plaza, you're fine. You might see a few homeless people.
Mm-hmm.
If you go 6 blocks the opposite way, you're going to hit Seaport Village and
super nice, elegant.
And then 6 blocks diagonally, you're going to hit Little Italy. Mm-hmm. But 6 blocks that way, you're going to hit Barrio Logan.
You're going to hit industrial area,
which is,
and then turns into a little bit of a ghetto.
Chicano Park and that area, and it can be a little dicey. But
and if you hadn't heard, there was homeless people getting set on fire there a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it has its moments.
Did you hear about this?
Yeah,
hear about this?
Yeah. They took blunt force trauma to the chest. A couple of them, they got stomped or something, and then got lit on fire.
Well, they caught the guy, or who they thought it was.
Did they?
Yeah, he made the mistake of buying his supplies locally. He probably should have gone to Arizona.
What supplies did he buy? Gasoline?
Gas can, lighter.
How many people? Don't tons of people buy that?
Not at the same time.
Yeah, and not like a block and a half, like
rags,
a gas station, a block and a
rags,
half.
Oh, if he bought it like that
rope,
locally, yeah,
bungee cords, a shovel. I mean.
Just working on my yard.
Yeah. I can't stop. You have these like tight pants and your crotch is just like.
And now he's flicking his bean. This is terrible.
Flicking my bean. Is that better?
But so overall, you guys like the RFID? I mean, I'm gonna go back and go through some stuff.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I liked it.
If there was a noticeable difference in walking room. Saturday was really bad.
I love watching you go in and out.
Yeah, going in and out. But I had a great year. 20th anniversary, so it's a good time.
20th anniversary?
1996 was my first. 2016, so.
Oh, okay.
Was it really?
Have you been going 20 years straight?
I might have missed a few early on. I know I went to 96. I think I went to 97. I know I went to 98. I don't know if I went to 99. But since 2002 for sure, and I know I went to high school a couple times. I might have gone every single time, but I can't remember 99 or 2000 for sure.
I know I've been on the last 9 straight.
Well, since I moved out in 2002, I've gone every single year. So
100%?
100%.
If all the tickets prove it?
Yeah. I save all my tickets. I don't know where they're packed away now.
They're on your bed still?
At my old house. At my old house. That's from last year.
It used to go be on your bed till like 2020.
But you have a giant buck knife on your bed.
I've been going through stuff. This is...
It's double-sided. That's illegal.
I have a lot of collectible buck knives.
You collected that one from the street.
I found out that one of my great uncles is a part owner in buck knives.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him, but I found that out.
So yeah, I think this year's a good year. I got everything that I wanted except for extra tickets to Funko Fun Days. Happy with how it turned out. Not happy to have a day that was 2:30 a.m. to 11:15 p.m.
That was a long day.
And then I
Business Bobby.
Yeah.
You gotta make that cheddar.
Yeah. I couldn't have done this year without the 2012 badge holders group on Facebook, because one of the guys from there, his name's Michael, he got me the room at the Marriott, which was cool. And
just want to give a shout out.
Well, a lot of people there have helped each other out. You know, I got a lot of different products for people over the last couple of years from Mattel, so and people have helped me out in exchange, so it's been nice. One of the guys there tried to help me this year for Hasbro, but by the time he gave me a ticket, but by the time I got to Hasbro where the ticket was, everything was sold out for that day. So I ended up not using that. But everybody's really helpful in that group, so I mean, that's...
Pay it forward.
You're part of that group, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is Katrina and Lacey. You're not, are you?
No, I don't buy anything or sell anything. So.
No, but I mean, it's just, hey, you know, there's a line for this here. There's a line for this there. These people are here. This is what the weight is here. Yeah, it's just people helping people. It's a beautiful thing.
No, dog. I'm like a rebel, a loner, a wanderer.
You hung out with me
Not
a
by
bunch.
choice.
Yeah.
I don't subscribe to lines like you guys. Fuck that shit.
You waited in line with me on Wednesday to get in, and then you waited in line at the Marvel booth.
Yeah, that was enough. That Marvel one.
It was slow.
That turned me off.
The first day?
Yeah.
What turned you back on?
The second day.
Dave Franco.
I went for it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I didn't do any lines. I didn't do any...
I bet you I was on the floor more than you, though.
Probably.
Because every time you gotta text me, like, back in the hotel room, having a break, everybody's free to come, and then you come back on the floor for like 20 minutes, like, hey, good to see you, man. We're gonna go to dinner right now.
Yeah.
And it's like...
Yeah, I would spend an hour to 2 hours on the floor at a time, and then I would go back. And I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that I was back in the hotel room, so if they wanted to take a break, they could.
Yeah. Did you buy comics at all?
Trade paperbacks. I didn't get any comics this year.
Sunday?
I didn't.
I found like a 70% off booth. So, like, you know, I don't read a lot. I still am interested in buying books from like 6-7 years ago when I read more.
Yeah.
Like I read one of your Chews, or a couple of them.
Uh-huh.
And the 70% off booth had the second trade of Chew. And so it was $3.
Yeah.
So
I would have liked to have done that, but we had to check out of the hotel, which means I had the kids with me the entire
I
time
sorted
Sunday.
through so many books by that day. But I didn't buy that one then. But I found Chew 1 trade for 50% off. So I got Chew trade 1 and 2 for like $8-9.
Yeah.
That's more like I paid more in food upstairs that day. So I was like, sweet, I'll take those.
There was a couple Manifest Destiny books I wanted to buy, and a few other single issues and some trades I wanted to buy, but I ran out of time. I didn't have enough time to look.
I don't know if you remember. You had me buy Invincible, like single issues after number 50 when it came out.
Uh-huh.
So I had like 50 through maybe 60 something.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, I want that. I want it first. I tried to look for the compendium. I don't want to take it for 20. I found it for 25% off.
Uh-huh.
Most. Amazon has it cheaper, so I didn't buy it. But I bought some of the ones after that. So I have some. So I'm slowly whittling my collection to
Fit in.
Yeah, I mean, there's some captains I was missing. Like Sunday morning went through. I have a little list of comics I have. So I was like, okay, what did I buy last year? I don't think I updated the list. So and I picked and choose a couple.
Cool.
I'm not gonna read. I didn't read anything about last year, so I'm not gonna read it.
You just sit on
Not until I have the whole collection, and then I can sit down and read it.
It's hard to justify buying some of those. Like the volume of hardcover for Walking Dead are $35 a piece with the bookstore or there on Amazon. They're $20.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard.
I compared everything to that, but like 70% off, I couldn't beat anywhere.
No.
But I looked at like Kick-Ass 3.
It's tough. Amazon puts a lot of these comic places just...
Yeah. I want to Kick-Ass 3 in a trade or hardback. I found hardback 50% off, but it still wasn't worth it.
Mm-hmm.
They at the Skybound booth, they had every single hardcover version of Invincible.
But that would have been detail.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
What are those? Those are like the 8-issue.
I don't need the
hardcovers?
collectible. I need the cheapest way to read them.
Yeah, I understand.
So, I would see. I'd get because I have 3 compendiums, the hardcovers for Walking Dead. Have
you caught up yet?
No, I'm like a quarter of the way through it. I can't. I think Ezekiel's in there now,
nice.
Like, from what I've been doing. But I have volumes 1, 2, and 5 of the hardcover books, and I would love to get all of those because I would read them on those more than I would read them on the compendiums.
Compendiums are big.
Yeah, but so I would. Yeah, I like the hardcover. Now for Chew, I looked at those too because there's 8. I think there were 8 or 10.
I stopped reading it.
Trade paperbacks.
Why?
I just lost interest.
Like halfway through the run, or like early on?
I probably read 50 or 60 issues.
Because I remember you like negotiating for the first issue. You're like, I gotta
Yeah.
get this. This book is amazing.
Yeah, I liked it for a long time, and I just kind of... It happens.
I didn't buy it. Like Astounding Wolfman was cheap somewhere.
That's not even a comic anymore. I mean,
It's not.
I think it ran for 25 issues.
I was like, I'm not gonna do that, and I almost bought. What Mark Millar made? Some ones I wanted to buy. What are the ones he made? Like superhero. I can't.
There was. Yeah,
they Superior.
Superior.
That was a good
I almost wanted to buy that.
That was really good. The one with the villain was really good.
Nemesis?
Oh.
I wanted to buy Superior Nemesis, and I seen the one that they made the movie out of that I really liked.
Kick-Ass?
No, but the assassin one. What's it called? Somebody's on the whole collection. It's like the 7 books. I like the movie.
Wanted?
You Wanted.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
And I know the comic's more superhero-y than the movie, but I was like, I like Kick-Ass so much, I would read these other ones. I couldn't find a good enough deal.
Mark Millar.
Yeah.
Is that really his name? It's not Mark Millar.
I don't know.
I think he wrote Old Man Logan too, which is really entertaining. It's like kind of post-apocalyptic, but Logan's still around, obviously, because he's...
Yeah, I remember that. You talked about it years ago.
That's really good. You should read Kirkman's, before he wrote Walking Dead Invincible, he had a comic called Battle Pope, where it's literally the Pope. So
that's awesome.
But yeah, I had a good year.
You want to talk about trailers?
Oh, we got to talk about the... Well,
I didn't watch many.
We'll just finish off with the Justice League. We're about at an hour. We'll talk about the Justice League trailer and then finish. I have no faith in anything that DC puts out, period. Because
I like the trailer way less grim than all the other fucking movies. It looked like
allowed to finish.
Shut up. It looked like a comedy.
I thought the trailer looked awesome. First of all, no Superman. Because obviously he's dead.
We'll see.
But no Superman. Fucking awesome. I don't have to deal with that shit.
If he comes back in the last third, they better not show it like they did with
Doomsday.
I've been super reluctant on Ezra Miller at all for The Flash because I like Grant Gustin.
I don't know who that...
Ezra Miller is the guy playing The Flash.
I know, but
I like the guy playing The Flash a lot on the show. I think he's great, and I'm like, why? And I've seen Ezra picture. I've never seen Ezra Miller in anything else, but he looked awesome in the trailer. I was like, oh my god, this guy looks great.
He played Spider-Man. Basically.
Yeah, he played Spider-Man, and anytime Spider-Man's in anything, sounds good to me.
And Jason Momoa
looked cool,
and he's basically being badass.
Yeah.
So
it looked entertaining.
And looked like a buddy cop movie with Batman and Wonder Woman. Did you get him to side with you? You didn't get him to side with you, did you?
Less, he said no. He said no.
Yeah.
Because you know what the controlling interest of DC and Warner Brothers said? They said you need to make this more of an Avengers movie. You need to go towards Marvel. You can't just be
fucked up, but fair.
Because as much as DC kills it on the small screen on TV and stuff, Marvel smashes them on movies just with everything.
100%. And did you watch Wonder Woman?
I didn't.
Chris Pine looks funny.
Does he? I like Chris Pine.
I know she's Amazonian, but I didn't know they would play it up like she finds a man. She's like, "You're a man." Like, I've never seen a man before.
Well, yeah, on her planet or city, there's no men, so she doesn't know.
I thought they were gonna.
She's pretty naive in that sense.
I thought they would redo her origin and make it more real, not Amazon to all women, but so that was okay. It didn't show a lot.
No, and it's taking place in the 40s.
Something.
When does Justice League come out?
November of 2017, I want to say.
Anywhere in 20. Okay.
Which comes out first? Wonder Woman, I assume.
Wonder Woman is first.
Okay.
I'm very curious, cautiously optimistic on Justice League. Not a Justice League fan, but I'll go see it. Hoping that they could replicate how good Guardians 1 was when Guardians 2 comes out. Obviously, the trailer hasn't come out for it, right? The footage that they showed?
For Guardians?
Yeah.
No. In fact, that and Spider-Man I haven't seen.
I read tweets and little mini articles about how awesome the footage was.
If it's the same cast and crew,
little kid Groot,
chances are you're fine. As long as they don't screw him like they did Jon Favreau. I
think that Guardians was so good that they'll probably give James Gunn.
Yeah, but if they have to make him shoehorn stuff in, that could suck. But I mean,
they said that Thor is fighting an armored Hulk in Thor Ragnarok.
Yes, that is true.
Interesting.
They showed off Hulk's armor.
Really?
Yeah, at Comic-Con.
I wonder if they're going to
straight do Red Hulk or Green Hulk? Green Hulk, huh?
Yes.
That's exciting.
Weird. Did Loki get to him?
Nobody really knows what Loki's doing.
I bet we're going to find out.
He's being real low-key about it.
With that, we should honestly just end it.
Any other trailers? Brian, you brought it up. Did you want to talk about
that? Would have been a great ending.
No,
just edit it later.
Suicide Squad had a new trailer, didn't it?
Suicide Squad did a new trailer. It comes out in a little less than 2 weeks.
They did not show me anything else because I just ready to watch
2 weeks,
it.
The week that Suicide Squad comes out, we'll do the podcast Sunday.
Okay. I'm seeing it the night on the 4th. So
I don't think there's any other movie announced that I could remember.
We're not going to have you on that one.
Lame. I don't think there's any other movies. I mean, no.
Stop massaging your thighs.
Now he's going in towards the crotch. And he just did the old, WCW...
Diamond
X,
cutter.
Yeah, whatever the fuck that thing's called.
That was the diamond.
I don't know. I didn't watch wrestling, so I couldn't tell you.
It's just the windows.
No, I think that was it. It was mostly Justice League. It looks, yeah. I think Ezra Miller is. He looks like he's gonna fit just fine.
What about the Bionic guy? They didn't show much.
Cyborg?
Yeah,
He was in it. The mother boxes cause him to become Cyborg, so that will
Blah blah
be
blah.
interesting.
Watch that movie be the highest grossing movie of all time. What would you say to it? Would you still hate it?
No, I hope I like it. I hope it's good.
I'm wondering because it was supposed to be a part 1 and a part 2. So if it's Justice League is just a movie, like, are they going to keep going like as a group? Is it just going to be Justice League 2 later on?
Probably.
Like, we're assuming Superman comes back in it. At
Just
some
assume
point.
that they're going to do whatever Marvel does.
If they
because
skip
make
out a
more
movie
money.
without Superman, I would be very happy.
If
Like,
they did what?
They don't bring Superman back immediately.
Oh no, you got it.
There's no fun.
There's a reason.
Like if that's the goal, like Justice League 2, fighting Superman.
I think the
That'd
thing
be-
is they acknowledge that he's the big player, not from a movie standpoint, from a battle standpoint. So if they're fighting Darkseid or Brainiac or another Doomsday or Bizarro, whoever the fuck they bring in, Superman has to be there or going to lose. Even if any of the animated DC movies, that's what they all acknowledge the same thing. Justice League, the TV show, Justice League Doom, Justice League War, same thing. They have to have Superman to win. So he'll come back at some point.
What if he's already back and he's Hancocking it somewhere, like drinking himself, like being incognito? Like I don't want to be.
He'd have to drink a lot of liquor to get fucked up, I think.
But that'd be cool if like he was actually.
I was doing that in the Deadpool game. You can drink beer, and finally he says you can drink as much as you want, but my healing factor doesn't allow me to get drunk.
He's an elf. So pull Wolverine.
Yeah, and he's always drinking.
We already knew that
Smoking
Ben
too.
Affleck was going to direct and be in the next Batman.
Yeah.
I read a rumor that it's going to take place in Arkham Asylum.
Really?
So, and that's why it's going to have all the villains are going to be in it in some capacity.
If they bring some Suicide Squatters into that'd be cool.
And at this point, he's already established he has a relationship with the villains in Suicide
I'm
Squad.
excited about Will Smith playing something a little different.
It's what I say. It's the first Will Smith movie
That's
in a long
not a
time.
Will Smith movie.
What?
Yeah.
What
Will
movie?
Smithsonian.
It's a movie he's in that's not a Will Smith movie. It's not a Men in Black or Bad Boys or.
I see where you guys are coming from, but every movie that has Will Smith in
Is
it
a Will
is a
Smith
Will
movie.
Smith movie.
What's the last one you've seen of it? I haven't watched.
I didn't watch Concussion. I didn't watch Ali.
What's the one with him and his son on the
I
alien
didn't watch
planet?
the
After
Pursuit of
Earth.
Happiness?
No, on the
No.
alien
Oh.
planet.
I watched
Yeah,
Pursuit of Happiness.
the one year after Earth. I watched that in Hawaii.
Was
It
it
was-
any good?
It was okay. It was worth watching, but it was.
He
free.
said that was the biggest regret of his career because he put it on his son too.
What about Karate Kid?
Well, that wasn't him and his son. He says he regrets Wild Wild West, but I read a thing where he was like, "Hey, it wasn't just criticism at me; it was criticism towards my son," which
Oh,
sucks.
Yeah.
that does suck.
Um,
Wild
No.
Wild West.
So.
Horse
Yeah.
shit.
so Comic Con good.
Well,
Comic Con well.
360 days.
It's 340, 339 and change, because it's earlier next year.
boy, my legs
Oh,
hurt.
okay.
Yeah, I'm sore too.
I got a sunburn.
So I ran that 5K on Sunday morning. Walking 40 miles ish for 4 days prior to running 3
It's
miles
worse.
is not conducive at all. My calves and my Achilles were so tight I had to stop. I couldn't do it. My cardio was fine. I just could not. I couldn't run. It hurt too much.
Yeah,
So that sucked.
mine is still sore.
I do have stuff to give away, but I'm not going to give it away to anybody unless they do shout-outs on Twitter. It's just how it's got to be.
Shout it out.
So at Sly Comics, you tell me, and maybe if we get enough people listening and retweeting and stuff, I'll give some stuff away because I got some really cool stuff.
You got that issue 1 of The Walking Dead.
That's a good
issue,
giveaway.
what was it? First appearance of Venom, Spider-Man. We got one of those.
Wow,
Do
Robert,
you know what that is?
you're
No.
generous.
It's Amazing Spider-Man 299.
You own it.
And he has 6 of them to give away. Twitter.
What's the greatest?
It's
I need to
some
know.
people say it's 300, or maybe it's 200. It might be Amazing Spider-Man number 200. I think it is 200
Dog, you need to know.
because Todd McFarlane did the cover, and I know what it is. But some people say it's 200. Some people say it's
You know,
199.
I have trouble remembering. What's the first appearance of Spider-Man?
Amazing Fantasy number 15.
I was hoping it's just Amazing Spider-Man number 1.
No,
Nerd.
Amazing Fantasy. And that's all rough in my head, but Walking Dead is pretty good. I can almost tell you all of them. First Ezekiel was 108.
He's got a pair of Robert Kirkman's boxer shorts that he's going to give away. Unwashed.
First appearance of your tattoo.
It's hardcover number 5. Thank you.
Weren't you in like one of the backs of them?
That's hardcover number 5.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is a picture there?
Yeah. No, not my picture.
I remember that.
Is your tattoo picture there?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It wasn't the tattoo though. It was the drawing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
That's not
god.
the actual tattoo.
I
it's
wish it
just
was the
artwork.
arm.
No.
Oh shit. That made me so happy.
Anyways, that is our post-con episode of 9 to 5 Nerds, which will be episode 14.
Yep.
So that's it. That's 9 to 5 Nerds with Robert Swathwood, Corey Urkel,
Bye bye.
and Brian Pasfumi.
Hey, thanks for listening.
Shut up.